In the United States, 22% of Latino adults of ages 25 and older have earned an associate's degree or higher compared to 39% of all adults. Hello, my name is Silvia Padilla, and today my group and I will be talking about averages, and we're going to do this by applying some statistical methods such as standard deviation and mean values. Our topic for today is on Chapter 3, Section 5, which is about what happens to averages as n increases. But before we continue, please pause this video and click on the link that appears on your screen to watch a quick video clip. As college students, we should be concerned about the results we just watched on this video clip because we are the ones who can either change or not these results. As Hispanics and Latinos, we can relate and be affected by these averages because we all form part of the largest minority group in the United States. Therefore, when we graduate, we are going to be the ones who count as that percent, as that graduation rate of Hispanics. Also, many of us are first generation students, and these percentages should especially catch our attention and our interest because we can either increase this rate or not. We can maintain it as it is or negatively affect it. And also, we have been told throughout our lives that having a college degree will give us many opportunities, will open many doors for us. And not only that, but our parents have always supported the idea of us having a better education than what they did. So now, how about we pause for a minute and we think and reflect about the video clip we watched, about the rates and the averages we just watched? Let's ask ourselves, for example, how Hispanic graduation rates compare to others, or do you believe these averages will increase or decrease in the future? Also, what necessary calculations had to be done in order to get these results? Well, before we figure this out and go over some examples based on this topic, my partner Brenda will present to you some important data that we need before making any calculations.
So now that you've seen the video Ms. Padilla has showed you, you must be interested in how they found their data. In front of you, you have a handout that we will be using throughout the lesson. So let's take a look at that handout now. On the first table, we have data from 5 different colleges giving the number of Hispanics graduating with an associate's. And on the second table, we have data from 5 different colleges as well, but this time giving the number of Hispanics graduating with a bachelor's. Just by looking at the first table, can you tell me which college has the most Hispanics graduating with an associate's? Yes, Miami-Dade College has the most Hispanics graduating with an associate's. Okay, now, just by looking at the second table, can you tell me which college has the most Hispanics graduating with a bachelor's? Yes, Florida International University has the most students graduating with a bachelor's. As you can see that just by looking at the data, we were able to determine which universities had the most Hispanics graduating with either associates and bachelors because the total numbers were given to us. All we had to do was compare the numbers. But what if we want to find the overall expected graduation rate of Hispanics enrolled in all the colleges? As in, what if you want to find out if Hispanics have a higher expected graduation in receiving their associates or their bachelors? What do you think we would do? Discuss with your partner what you think the process is to find that out and why you think that is the process, and then we will share our answers with the class. Students, those are all good answers. As you can see, the expected graduation rates of Hispanics enrolled isn't given to us, but we are given enough data to find it. It just requires us to do some calculations, which is what we will be doing today. On today's lesson, we are going to find the average graduation rates of Hispanics graduating college by calculating the mean and standard deviation. On the next part of the lesson, we are going to use the data given to us and work on a couple of examples. Here is Aldo to help you along the way.
Okay, so for this example, we're going to be finding our expected value and variance of the rate of enrollment of Hispanics attending the top 5 institutions we have here. So to find the expected value formula, we need to first find the probability of each university. We do this by adding the Hispanic total we have here. So in this case, after you add all of this, you get a total of 148,965. Then to find the probability of Hispanics enrolled in each university, we take the Hispanic total, circled here, and divide it by the total population of Hispanics. For example, for Miami-Dade College, we would take 44,870 and divide it by 148,965. This would equal 0.3 or 30%. So we repeat the process for the rest of the universities. So again, for example, for South Texas College, we would take we would take 28,206 divided by 148,965, which will result in 19% or 0.19. So after we find the results for other universities, which again they're already listed here, this area. So now we need to find the number of Hispanic number divided by the grand total for each university as well. So in this case, it would be Hispanic total over grand total. So we will start with Miami-Dade. In this case, it would be 44,870 divided by 66,046, which would give us a number of 0.679. And for South Texas College, it would be 28,206 divided by 30,180, which would result in 0.935. So again, we'll repeat the same process for all of the institutions. So now to find the expected value, we will multiply the numbers such as the probability of Hispanics, which is here highlighted in yellow and the work in green, and multiply it with the number of Hispanics over grand total, which was our work here done in purple. And we will add up all these numbers. So we will have 0.30 times 0.679 plus 0.19 times 0.935 plus 0.18 plus 9 times 0.69 plus 0.16 times 0.0673 plus 0.16 times 0.855. So this will give us our expected value, and if you do the calculations, you will get an expected value of 0.746, which is the rate of decrease of Hispanics enrolling in any school. Okay, so since we're looking for the variance, we will use the formula. We're using our formula to find the variance, and we are using sigma x minus mu squared times the probability of x. Okay, so when we set up with our formula, we would start with 0.679 minus our mu, which we found to be 0.746. Squared times the probability of that particular university, which is Miami-Dade. And we found that to be 0.30. So then we continue with the rest of the universities. So we would have 0.935 minus 7.746 squared times 0.19 plus 0.669 minus 7.746 squared times 0.18 plus 0.673 minus 0.746 squared times probability of 0.16 plus 0.855 minus 0.746 squared times the probability of 0.16. This would result in a number of 0.0119545, and of course you take the square root of this number, so we just call it b. So the square root of b will give us approximation of 100.0109, which this is the spread of the enrolling number of Hispanics in any school.
In this example, just like in the previous, we are going to be finding the expected value and our variance of students who receive their associate degrees in these 5 institutions. So here we have 5 institutions, which equals n, which n is our total population. Now, to find our expected value, the first thing that we need to do is find the Hispanic students total from all the institutions. So here, if we add all of these together, it's going to give us 17,190. Then our next step would be to divide each individual's Hispanic total over all of the Hispanic total. So here we have, for Miami-Dade, we had 6,978 over 17,190. And this is going to give us a total of 40, which is 40%. And this 40% is how many Hispanic students, just Hispanic students, graduated from that university, which is Miami-Dade. Now for South Texas, if we do 2,963 over 17,190, this is going to give us 0.17 or 17%. So we do the rest, and we can see that we have 0.15 for El Paso, 0.13 for Valencia, and 0.12 for New Mexico. Now that we have this, we need to find our percentage. The table here already gives it to us, but if you wanted to know how to get this, you would get your Hispanic total and divide it over the grand total. So as you can see here, I already worked out the last three, but if you wanted to know how to do it, like I said, you're going to get your Hispanic total, which is 6,978, over your grand total, which is 10,318, and this is going to give you 0.676, which you can round it off to 68%. If we do this for South Texas, we're gonna get 2,963 over 3,179, and this is gonna give us 0.932, which rounds to 0.93. So this is how we find our Hispanic percentage. Now, to find our expected value, we have to substitute in our values that we got here, and here are percentages. So this is our expected value formula, and it's the sum of our x's times our probability for each institution. So for our first spots right here, we're gonna put Miami, and we had 0.676, and we're gonna multiply it by its probability, which was 0.40. Then we're gonna go over to South Texas, and we had 0.932 times our probability, which was 0.17, and we keep doing this for all of our schools, which this was El Paso, Valencia, and New Mexico. And once we do this calculation, we are going to get that our expected value is 0.648. Then to find our variance, we use our x and then our expected value that we just found times the probability that goes with each university. So our x here, in this case, when we're still going in order, so we have Miami first, which was 0.676, minus, we're going to subtract our expected value, which was 0.648. We're going to square it, and then we're going to times it with our probability. Then here we're going to have South Texas, and we have 0.932 minus our expected value, and its probability was 0.17, and we keep going. We have the rest of the schools here, and this is going to give us 0.040. Next, we need to take the square root of this, because in order to find our variance, we always need to take our square root of our answer. When we do this, we get 0.201, and this is going to be our variance, which is the spread of degrees of Hispanic students who received associate degrees. The example that we are given in the book, it talks about a drunken sailor called Mo who is traveling from the bar to his house, and they're trying to find the distance he's going to travel. And this kind of problem is a random variable problem, because most steps can't be traced. Like, we don't know if he's going to take a step forward or a step backward, so this is why it's a random variable. But in our case, all of our data was already collected for us, and it was stated in the tables. So ours isn't a random variable because all of our data is already given to us. Now, to answer what happens to averages as n increases, well, when n increases, we get more total population. In this case, we only had 5 institutions. So if we get more institutions, our average gets more accurate.